there. Welcome to Within Living's YouTube channel. My name is Lois, and I'm so happy that you're here. And I sincerely thank you for coming here. So here at Within Living, whether it's here on YouTube or on my website at withinliving.com, any of my one-on-one coaching, my soon-to-be released newsletter, or my self-paced courses, or maybe any of my content you might find around the internet, right? Because I do post a blog. Then all my conversations are going to be focused towards spirituality, but with a very specific focus on consciousness. And when I say consciousness, I'm talking about who we call God, or who we call the superconscious mind. Some people call it the universe. Some people even call it the subconscious mind, right? It's the seat of consciousness that is your awareness of being, or your awareness of even existing. You see, you could not exist without it. And it dwells within you. God actually is within you, not without you. So all my conversations here then are going to be focused on taking you back within to connect to the seat of consciousness, who is your soul. That's what we call it in the non-religious world, or in the scientific world, they call it the subconscious mind. In religion, they call it the Christ present. It doesn't really matter what we call it, right? It is God within, and it is actually the you. So yes, that's the gist of our conversation here. And all my conversations are going to be very thought-provoking. Yes, they are. But I don't mean it in a bad way, in a really good way. I bring content to you to really provoke you or inspire you then to stop and pause and think about it and say, wait a minute, what is Lois saying? What is she talking about? And not so much to just release it, but to go within yourself. I'm always going to encourage you. Every video I bring, I will ask you and encourage you to go back within yourself. You see, the infinite wisdom, knowledge, and intelligence of all existence dwells within you. It's not apart from you. It's not outside of you. Everything is within you. So I'm always going to support you and encourage you to go back within. Connect back with this state of consciousness. It is the real you. And ask any questions that you have of it. And it will answer you. It always does. It always does. Always does. So yes, my content is to provoke you then to seek for yourself, to become critical thinkers of what is it am I thinking? What am I believing? Why am I believing it? Don't just accept it, people. No, don't just accept it. Question it. Question it. Ask of the infinite intelligence within you, and it will always answer you. And it is infallible. It can't fail and it can't lie. All right. So today, I have another juicy conversation for y'all today, right? But before we get into it, I want to give recognition to one of my subscribers here for appreciating the content that I bring to you each week by having offered her super thanks. So Allison, her name is Allison, and it's Allison Gordon 4478. That's your screen name here on YouTube. I want to thank you so very, very much for your generous contribution to my work and for appreciating my work. I appreciate you. All right, so now I want to get into this conversation for today, right? And I'm not sure what I'm going to title it yet, but it's somewhere along the line. I want us to really, really talk about a very popular phrase, particularly in the law of attraction community. And I do believe that a lot of people, I'm grateful to Rhonda Byrne, however she pronounces her name, and pardon me if I did not pronounce it correctly, and all those who have gone before to have brought forth this message that awakens so many people from the genre that's called the law of attraction, because I do believe that a lot of people became or started to experience their spiritual awakening as a result of these communities coming forward. So I'm very, very grateful for them. So now to the conversation for today, right? There is a very popular term, as I was saying, that really is affiliated with the law of attraction community that says, ask, believe, receive. And so I want to bring a conversation here today about what exactly is that. Because in my experience, I've coached a lot of people, right? And I have a lot of people say to me, but listen, I've done all that. I've done the asking, the believing, the receiving, and still nothing happened. Well, why does it not happen? What does it actually mean to ask? And how do we really ask? What does it mean to believe? And there's a video I did months back that was titled Belief, Hope, Faith, Conviction. And I'm going to link it in my description box for you because I personally believe that, or accept, it is my assumption, it is my conviction, it is my conviction that the word belief is not an accurate word in order to manifest. So the word should be convinced. Are you convinced? And I will link that video for you. And why do I say belief is not accurate? It has to be a conviction because of the last part of that phrase. The last part of that phrase is, it says that you will receive. In other words, the thing will come to you, but the thing will come to you contingent upon your conviction or your belief. So let's get into some of the nuances of those words today. You guys know I love to talk about words, right? Okay. So the word ask, let's start with the word ask. The word ask, I know especially those of you who are in some form of religion, it doesn't matter which religion, all of them pretty much work the same way. Their core arguments of their belief may be different, but the basis of them are pretty much the same thing. But in religion, we're taught that to approach God or to pray or petition for something, we have to go and we have to beg for it. We beg for it. We plead for it, right? We justify our cause or our case for it. That's what praying is. That's not what praying is, people. The word prayer, which is another conversation altogether, but the word prayer actually really means communion, communication. We're communing with God. So whatever it is, those thoughts are going on in your mind, you are communing with God because God is all mind. God is in the mind. God is the mind. So when we ask now, let's say in the act of prayer, how are we to ask that puts us in a state where we believe that what we have asked is already done, because that's the process or the conviction that we have to have in order for the desire to then show up to us or, quote, be received, appear in the physical world. So how do we ask? Let's take a closer look at that. I'm going to interchange the word believe. First of all, we ask by the asking is not the pleading, is not coming from a place of lack. If we're asking as saying, I don't have so-and-so, I'm begging for so-and-so, or I'm asking that I be given so-and-so, then I'm actually declaring, or affirming that I don't have it. I don't have it. I'm in a state of lack of it. And if I'm in a state of lack of it, then in accordance with the law of assumption, which is the same thing as the law of belief, or the law of conviction or faith, then that law says, whatever I am believing is true to me at this moment, I have received and accepted as true to me at this moment, is what I must then continue to experience. It also says that whatever I'm thinking, as I think, so I become. So if as I think, so as I become, if I'm thinking I don't have, then according to that law, then yes, I must also continue to experience not having. Not having. So when we ask or pray, or set an intention to experience something, we must come to it with the understanding and with the, quote, conviction. The conviction, and I'm going to prove to you why conviction is, pardon me, critical, with the conviction that we already have it. So when we ask, then we're not asking to say, oh, you know, dear God, dear Father, dear Allah, dear universe, dear whomever, may I please have. That is not what asking is. That is definitely not what asking is. What asking is coming from a state of consciousness, a state of awareness. That state of knowingness. You have to go back to the knowing who you are. If you don't know who you are, then you can't ask in that confidence. You have to know who you are. That's the fundamental of everything, right? And that's what your spiritual awakening is, to wake you up to really get to discover who you really are, which is God. So if you're truly convinced that you're God, and let's say it's money, since that's most people's issue. Let's say it's the money thing. Then if you are God, if you're truly convinced that you're God, and a lot of you here on YouTube tell me that yes, you do, right? Then you need to live it. It's not just a mind thing. You have to become convinced of it. So if you're convinced that you are God, or you're the offspring of God, let's say the child, the lower form, God in lowercase. Then when you come with a claim. You are making a claim. Go back to that video I had a few weeks back about the prodigal son, right? If you are the son of a king, then you're not coming to beg to say, well, can I have some allowance money? No, you're coming from the standpoint that I'm putting in a request. I want to have some allowance money added to my account now. That's it. I put a request in, I expect it, I claim it, I set an intention that I'm having it. This is what the real prayer is when you are asking for something. You have to come to it knowing and understanding the thing that you're asking for is something, first of all, you're entitled to. You're worthy of it. You're deserving of it. It is already yours to have, and you're simply putting in a claim for it. So your asking then is not a begging, is not a pleading, is not asking a permission or a favor. No, it is staking claim to what is your divine birthright. It is setting your intention that this is what I am putting a request on. I am claiming this. I am possessing this. I am owning this. So that is your ask. Right? So once you've done the ask, then the believe, which I say the more appropriate word is the word convinced, that when I ask, because you have to have the conviction, right? If when you ask, you are not convinced that you have it, you're not convinced you're worthy of it, you're deserving of it, you're entitled to it, you have the authority to put claim or possession to it, then you can't have an unwavering conviction then that you actually have it. That's why I say the word believe is not an accurate word. What belief is vacillating. I believe I have it mentally, but it's not a conviction in my soul that this thing is actually, honest to God, my truth. It is who I am. It's not what I'm going to get, but it is who I am. It is not. And why do I say it's not? When we do the asking and then a few days or a few hours go by and the thing hasn't shown up, first thing we do is we run and we look in the three-dimensional world. We start looking in the checking account. We start looking in the wallets. We start wondering and we start questioning, well, God, where is it? When is it coming? How is it going to get here? That is belief. That is belief. When you have faith, which is the conviction, you say, well, you know what? I really don't care what the clock is saying. I don't care what the calendar is saying about its dates. I don't care what the circumstances of the checking account or the wallet is saying. I claimed it. I have possession of it. It is mine. It is mine. I don't have to see it in the physical world to know it is mine. It is mine. I am convinced that it is mine. It is mine. Why? Because it is me. It is a part of me. It is who I am. I'm already abundant. It is me. That money is coming out of me. Out of my abundance. I have it. Irrespective of what's going on in the three-dimensional world. When you have conviction, you no longer look in the three-dimensional world. There's a video I also did a while back where I was telling you guys that signs and circle signs and situations cannot come before the manifestation. They cannot precede the manifestations. They have to follow it. The manifestation must come first if you're convinced. So I want to take a look at some of these words now. I'll be looking down a lot today. And I'm talking fast because this is a long video. So bear with me on that, right? Okay, so belief or conviction means to possess something, to take ownership. It is saying, I have it and I have it now. I have it now. I have it right now. I'm not having it when it shows up in the physical world. No, that's why your belief don't work. It's the conviction of saying, I have it and I have it now, right here, right. The moment I took claim of it, I have it now. And I have it without any factual evidence. That is the conviction, or that is the faith. The video I did, I'm going to link it again, like I said, about belief and hope, faith and conviction. Okay, but that is the conviction that you need. So go back and look in my description box and go back and look at that video so you understand what the conviction is, right? Versus the belief. Okay, so belief or convictions, what they call belief in the statement I made, ask, believe, receive, which is what I call ask, be convinced, and receive, right? It is the catalyst for your experience of the desire in your physical world. If you're not convinced, totally and completely convinced that you already have it, and you have it here and now, then I'm sorry, my friend, you're never going to receive the physical appearance of it. It's not going to show up. It can't show up. It can't show up without your faith, because the physical appearance of it is actually just your conviction, the energy of you, the power of you that takes the form of this thing and pushes it out into the physical world as what you call your reality or your life experience. Okay? So this then takes us back to self-concept. And I think a week or two ago, I had a video about self-concept. I'm going to link it here again also. Because when your self-concept is not solidified, you can't have a real abiding conviction. And I don't care what they tell you in the manifesting world. They tell you, let's affirm. Why do you think you're affirming? Whether you're affirming robotically or unrobotically, you are affirming because you have belief. And they tell you, oh, you don't need to believe to manifest. It's a bold-faced lie. It's a lie. Because the subconscious mind, when you impress the subconscious mind, what you're actually doing, if they tell the truth, is you are impressing upon the subconscious mind that this thing is true to me. That's what the impression in the subconscious mind is. This thing is true. I am unwaveringly convinced this thing is true to me. And once the subconscious mind accepts that thing as true to you, boom, it pushes it out in the manifestation in the physical world. So when you're affirming, no matter what type of affirming you're doing, you're affirming because you believe. You're in the state of belief, and you are impressing the brain to the mind to accept it then as your conviction. Without faith, you can't please God. Without faith, God can't move. God only responds to your faith, people. That's all. There's nothing else required. Nothing else. It's only your faith. And that faith, if you don't want to have to robotically affirm or affirm all the time for these things or fight your ego all the time, then I suggest that you seriously begin to consider doing that deep inner work within yourself to totally and completely transform your perspective, your conviction of who you have been believing yourself to be. That is your self-concept of yourself. When you change your self-concept of yourself, you step into the state of knowing indeed you are God. And because you are God, then you are all that. And it is just a matter of your word. You give your word, it has to come to pass. It has to come to pass. It comes from a state of an unwavering confidence in who you are and in the authority of your word. When you claim it, you got it. Nothing in the universe and everything in it must bend to comply with your wish when you have the conviction about who you are within. And by the way, I'm going to interject this right here. So I have the course. It is released. I'm releasing it later this week. So you guys can go ahead and sign up for it, pre-released at a discounted price. I'm putting the link in my box right here for you if you want it at the discounted price on self-concept. And it will just be for a very short time, that discounted price. But anyway, moving on. So moving on to receive. What is receive really? Receive is the conviction, is the acceptance and knowingness and unwavering conviction that I have this thing. I have it. And the receiving is the actual evidence then of the conviction that when I asked, which was to take possession of, I believed, which was to be convinced that when I took possession of it in that instance, it was mine here and now. The receiving of it is the actual physical projection of it, of my conviction of owning the thing. The thing then, based on my conviction that it is mine, must then obey me and present itself to me in the physical world. This is what it means to ask, believe, receive. It's just as simple as that. Okay, so the key to experiencing your desires is your conviction. There's nothing else involved except your conviction. It's only your conviction, my friend. And your conviction is your faith, right? It is your faith that's going to move your mountain. So again, the key to experiencing all these things that you desire to have in your life, these things you want to manifest, it's not all the tools and techniques. It's not all these processes. There is no process. Manifesting is instantaneously. It's the moment you have the conviction to believe that you already have the thing right here and right now. Okay? All right. So it is not God or the devil or anyone or anything external of you that is outside of you that denies or delays or thwarts your manifestation from showing up in the physical world. It's not God. It's not even them thoughts in your head. Quote, the ego. It is the you. It is you. It's just you because you're not stepping up to be in the state of consciousness where you've solidified the knowingness of who you are in your identification of self. That's all that is. Because you are the cause. You're the cause of everything. You're the cause of it all. Okay, so the cause is always within. Every single thing starts within. Your manifestation starts within. Your life starts within. Every thought you have starts within. Every experience you have starts within. It starts within, in the subconscious mind, in the soul. In the soul. It's energetic. It's not physical. It's energy. And whatever resides in the subconscious mind that becomes your conviction, it does so by your dominant thought patterns. So whatever you're thinking most of the time, whether you're conscious of thinking them or not, those are the thoughts that are being repetitive. The more repetitive they are, the more they're solidifying whatever that thought is. And that is what becomes the conviction in the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind simply obeys. It can't resist. It can't overthrow you. It just says, oh, okay, you're convinced of that. All right, I'll prove it to you. It pushes it out, in other words, in your physical world. Anything you have in your physical world right now is proof to you from God within you, the soul, the subconscious mind, of who you believe you are. That's all. Okay, so your belief or conviction, I prefer the word conviction again. It is within you. It is in your soul or your subconscious mind. It's not upstairs. That's mental ascent. This is mental ascent. And they're mentally ascended here until they become the conviction here by wiring a totally new brainwave pattern that becomes a habitual way of thinking. Once it becomes a habitual way of thinking, then it's surrendered or submitted into the subconscious mind as your conviction. In other words, this is who I am. So it is your conviction or faith that you have the thing. So when you ask, take possession of, be convinced that you have it here and now. Here and now. And it'll show up. This is why I say to you guys that I never take no for an answer. I can't be told no. And I know that because I am solid about who I am. I have no question about who I am. And I don't care what it is that I want. Doesn't matter to me. There's no big or small or none of that. Just know who you are and know you can't never be denied. Once you know who you are, you know you can't never ever be denied. So once you take possession of the thing, you have it. Okay. You cannot believe that something is true to you and experience something differently. So if any of you guys have been going along and having the experience where you're believing one thing, but your life is reflecting something else to you, don't take Lois's word or any anybody else's word for it. That is the evidence or the proof to you from God within you saying to you, no, Tootsie, you really don't. You think you believe it, but it's mental assent. I'm not convinced you do, you see. I'm not convinced you do. Who I am convinced you are is this here that I'm reflecting out to you. Whatever I'm reflecting out to you is the witness that I have from you that you're convinced that you are to me. So I have to prove to you, whoever it is you say that you are, I am that I am. I'm going to become to you whatever you command me. And we command by our thoughts that become our convictions. So you're never going to have your desire. So those of you who are manifesting stuff and you're all awaiting, oh, it's a process and it's unveiling to me. And I know that everything, it's always going to be working out and happening for me. That's a bold-faced lie from your ego also, because I'm here to tell you, no, it is not so. It is not true. Not true. It's just a lie. I'm sorry, people. I can't come here and lie to you, okay? I just can't do it because my soul won't let me do it. So I can't come here and lie to you. It's a lie. It's still a part of the illusion, a part of the deception of the ego. Whatever you're believing, it doesn't matter. There's no wrong or right. Whatever you're believing at this moment is what is true to you and is what you must experience. So if you're believing that it is a process, and it has to be a process, and it has to be drawn out over this process, and it has to unfold over this process, then the God of you, I am, that I am, your subconscious mind, who is the you, it's the true you, the real you, then must prove to you by expressing in the physical world to you that yes, it is a process. It is continually unraveling or unveiling or evolving for you, and it never comes to an end. Because that is not the faith, where you have to step up into the state of believing, accepting, I have it and I have it here and now. It is mine now. That's the faith. That's the faith. Cuts across all the grains, but that's the faith. Don't take my word for it. To take you back to the scripture for y'all who still read the scriptures. So in Mark 11:24, Jesus was speaking, and here's what he says. Whatever you desire, right? When you pray, in other words, ask, take possession of, intend, believe, or be convinced that you have received it. Have. Underscore the word have. It's a past present participle. It's an ongoing active verb. It is saying, when I took possession of it, I claimed it. In that instant, it became mine. I have it. I have it right here and now. I don't have to see it. I have it. I have it because I have always had it. It was always mine. Even before I took possession of it, it was there for me. It was mine. This is the faith, people. And then it says, then you will receive it. In other words, it will show up for you. It can only show up for you if you're convinced you already have it. So pray means ask. Believe means be convinced you have it. And receive means you're an absolute unwavering expectancy that it is inevitable. It is showing up any second now. It has to. Why? Because I already have it. Unwavering, no wavering. So it goes back to the law of assumption. And the law of assumption, like I said before, is the same law that's the law of faith. And I'm going to tell you what it means to have an assumption, what an assumption means, which is the same thing faith means. It says it is the assuming or accepting, receiving something as true, underscore true, without any physical evidence of it. So an assumption or faith is saying it's believing something to be true, that you have something that you can't see in the physical world. There's no physical evidence in the physical world to you. That is the conviction. That just is the conviction. And the law of assumption is the same thing that is called the law of faith. With the law of assumption or the law of faith, what you're actually doing, creation is complete. You can't create anything. I'm sorry, we're not no co-creators. If you are God, then creation is already complete. You are simply bringing forth from yourself, out of the infinite field of all possibilities that we call the quantum world now. You are bringing forth from your own abundance this thing that you're desiring to experience in the physical world. Okay? So again, go back to your self-concept. You have to go back to your self-concept. When your self-concept is solidified, you're going to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you already have all things. You already one with all things. You know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you can never be denied. When your self-concept is solidified, this is what we call being in the God state. You know that truly, honest to God, as God, if I decree it, which means I give a command, the universe and everything in it must bend. That's what they mean when they talk about bending reality. Everything in the physical world must bend in compliance to my command. And you are unmovable in your conviction of who you are. The conviction is not in the conviction of someone external of you. It's the conviction of you. It's the conviction of you. It's really knowing and being convinced that, yes, I am all of that. That is who I am. And I'm unwavering in my conviction of my trust and my reliance upon me. Okay, so again, go back to the law. The definition of the word faith in the law of assumption, real quick here, means a complete trust or confidence in someone or something without any proof or evidence. It is believing in the truth of something even when faced with uncertainty. So once you take possession of that thing, and the three-dimensional world throws up these uncertainties, when you have conviction, you're unwavering. Even in the face of uncertainty, you're unwavering because you know you already have it. You know you already have it. You have the conviction that you already have it, right? And a scripture reference that ties in with it with faith now for all you all church people is Hebrews 11:1. And it says, now faith is a confidence that we have that which we believe for, and it is the evidence or the proof that it is already so. Now faith, which is the conviction, is a confidence in what we have believed for, and the evidence or the assumption that it is so, even without sight. So there again, it takes you back to your conviction, and your conviction takes you back, the solidity of your conviction takes you back to your self-concept. That's going to be it for this video today. It's a little bit long, but thanks for bearing with me on it. But I just wanted to bring this to you. My intention is that it clears up a lot of things for you all, because I hear from a number of you all in the comments box here on YouTube, but also off YouTube through the contact page on my website. I hear from you all about these issues you're having, and why is it that you're doing all these things and you're not manifesting? Well, this is why. So get your self-concept right, and you'll get everything right, and life will truly become magical for you. Your self-concept takes you back to the solidifying within you of who you honest to God are, that you are God within, and that your word really is final. And when your self-concept, by the way, is solidified, manifesting is second nature to you. There's no effort. You simply desire something, you set an intention for it, you know that you receive it, you hold firm to that conviction, and there's nothing you have to do. There's no inspired actions you have to take. There's nothing you have to do. Everything in life must comply and bend to your desires, and the thing is delivered to you, okay? Go check my self-concept course out. Go to my website at withinliving.com. And by the way, real quick, I have a new newsletter coming up for you, and it will be ready for you by the time we meet again next week, okay? So a new newsletter, I mentioned this before, and in this newsletter, I'm just going to give you little tidbits. It's not long articles, it's just bite size for you to contemplate, to help you to understand some of these principles that we cover here. All right, so that's going to be it for today. I'm going to say, it's been a joy being here and bringing this conversation to you. I trust I've provoked you to really give some serious thoughts. Listen to this video several times and really let it sink in for you, okay? And until next time, you know the deal. I'm going to say bye-bye for now. Peace. And it's only one love. We're the one. It's me and you and everything. There's nothing outside of you, my friend. Nothing. It's one love. Bye-bye for now.